Southern Grace Mercantile and Craft Retreats with SGM. I thought today, since 4th of July is coming up, that we would make a flag pillow. And I saw this online somewhere, something similar. But we made this type of pillow last year for Christmas. We're going to do a different one at our Christmas in July. And this is just a really cute, easy throw pillow. And you don't need to know how to sew because I cannot sew. Like, I've tried. I can't. My worst experience with sewing was way back. Do you remember? You probably don't remember. The late 70s, early 80s, wraparound shorts were a thing. And I tried to make a pair, and somehow I made them so that the front and the back were opposite sides. So no matter how you turned it, one side was wrong side out, unless you twisted it, and then you had to twist in the crotch. That was my last sewing adventure until I was in my 30s. And then I got the great idea that I was going to make a quilt for my mother-in-law. Because I'm not really her favorite. But my love language is, it used to be called material things. I don't know what they call it now. But I love to give things. I love to get things. It's my love language. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be a little, I don't know, card that you made or a box or something. It just means a lot to me that you took that time. And so I thought, well, I'm going to make her a quilt for Christmas. I'm not going to go into the whole long story about it because that's a story for another time. But suffice to say, I bought a sewing machine. I thought, how hard can it be? So I went to Costco and I bought a sewing machine. Probably my first mistake. And after a couple hours, I could not figure it out. And I was just like, this is more headache than it's worth. So I had researched how to make a quilt, and that all the threads were supposed to, all the stitches were supposed to be an equidistance apart. And so I went and got a little, they have this stitch measuring tape so you can make sure all your stitches are the same. And I hand sewed that quilt. I spent months hand sewing it and putting it together. And I'm going to make a very long story short. I was going to say that I gave it to my mother-in-law, and she's a wonderful woman. But it has not come out of that box for the past 25 years. So I do have it on my list that I want it back when she's no longer with us, which will probably be a long way down the road. But anyways, I just don't sew. I don't sew. I can maybe put a button on, but it's not going to be super tight. So this is done without sewing. However, you could, and I might at some point come back and do a basting stitch or a running stitch right along here, which would be really fast just to give it some more dimension. Or I might, and I would do that around the blue star part. But let's get started. If you get on here, say hey. I'll try to say hi back. Mostly I just, for me and little tutorials, I kind of like just to get in and get done and get them done so that you don't have to watch 2 hours of me up here hemming and hawing and talking. But I will say hi. So glad you're here. And I mean it. I just don't want to waste your time. So, I will put these kits up on the website, but basically it's just this, this material has a name and I can't think of it right now. But, I just went and got some of the red and white material, some blue material with stars, which I did find at Hobby Lobby, but it was hard to find. And, ticking. This is ticking, red and white ticking. And I ripped my pieces. My pieces are about 12 by 18. Hey, Ashley, I'm doing good. Hi, Holly. It's Saturday here, and in Oak Ridge we have this huge festival. There's a festival called the Lavender Festival. And I wish that, it's too hot outside. I wanted to go to it, but I didn't make it. So anyways, I do my 2 pieces of material. I just ripped them. I didn't cut them. So I want it to be rustic. And these are about 12 by 18. And then I have my glue gun. Now, here's the thing. this is the trick for this. If you have a glue gun that just plugs into the wall, even though it says high temp, it's not super high temp. These glue guns by Ryobi, and I'm not sponsored by them, but these things get super, super hot, especially if they're the original ones like I have. They get so hot, they will literally burn you to your soul. And when the glue gets that hot, it takes longer to cool, but it also sticks better. The ones that you plug into the wall or the low temp ones, they just don't really stick well. You can also use, I'm just using regular glue sticks, but you could get fabric only glue sticks if you wanted to. You could even use, they make a liquid stitching, and you could use that, or you could sew it. So anyways, I'm just going to put my glasses on so I can see. I'm going to make a little line. I do just a little line at first, just because I like, I don't know. I don't want my glue to dry. And if you get hot glue on yourself, I'm just going to tell you, hot glue is hot. It's a hard lesson to learn. So, if you are watching this on the replay, you can fast forward through me just gluing this together, because that's literally all I'm doing. I did not iron this beforehand. I'm just not picky like that. You could. But if you're doing this on your own, I think you could literally make a cute little hostess gift like this if you're going to a 4th of July party, and if you had the material and stuff at your house in 15 minutes. And what a great little hostess gift. Do people still give hostess gifts? I don't know. And it's okay if your materials are not exactly the same size. It doesn't matter. This is going to have that little rustic vibe, and you want it to have that frayed edge. So if it's not perfect, don't worry about it. Just make sure that you don't have any places that didn't get glue that are, you want it to be sealed, I guess. That's what you would call it. Hot glue is hot. My tongue's sticking out, sorry. I am going to leave this end open, and so I'm going to come over here and glue this side. Again, if you're watching this on the replay, just fast forward through this part until I get to the next. But we made these pillows on the crafting cruise that we just got off of, and it was so much fun. And it's a sewing project, if you will, that everyone can do. Ow, that was hot. No matter what the skill level. Because I'm going to tell you, my skill level on sewing is 0. It's 0. Really. Okay, so I have this done all the way to the end, and I'm just going to kind of leave it like that. I may close it up a little bit more, but not a big deal. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little square. This is not any great dimensions. This is probably, if that's 6, it's probably 5 by 5. You can make it a rectangle if you wanted to. And I'm just going to lay it down. Then I'm gonna put some hot glue on it. The good thing about using this hot glue is that it does not, ouch, cool down, ouch, fast, just like that. So, that was hot. Told you. Like it already blistered. And then I'm going to come over here. Again, we're not making a perfect flag. We're not making a perfect flag with perfect dimensions. We're doing an artistic impression of it. So if you're somebody that has to have a flag with perfect dimensions, you do you, boo. You can look those up. They do have them, but it's not what we're doing here. This is an artistic representation of the flag, and that's okay. All right, that's it. We got it all done. It's all glued together. Check, don't have any holes. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna stuff it. So sometimes I like to use stuffing from old pillows that I don't want anymore, or I go buy stuffing. You can stuff this pillow as much as you want. And you kind of want to get it down in those corners. If you don't want to leave the whole end, that sure did hurt, whole end undone, you can get a little stick and stick it in there. Chopsticks were good for that. Sometimes when you buy these, they have a little poker downer stick. I don't know what that's called, but a poker downer stick, that's what I'll call it. If you really wanted to be fancy, you could get a pillow form and you could make your pillow to the size of that pillow form and then do it. You could even do like a little pocket, so you could take it off and change it out, but that's really fancy. I'm not going to do that. Actually, I don't even really decorate for the whole holiday. I hate to say this because people always say, hey, where are your finger condoms? I know, they're probably downstairs or they're in the storage. And that's the whole thing. Like, since I don't have a store anymore, all my stuff is just spread out. And whenever I go to do something, I can never find it. And that was one of the reasons why I wasn't doing lives, because I didn't have all my stuff in one area. And then I just said, screw it. I'm just going to do them, okay? And if it's not perfect, it's not perfect. Because, you know, it's kind of silly, but at all of our retreats and at all of the pinners, classes, and stuff that I do, I give out this little piece of wood and it says, I am made perfectly imperfect. And the reason I give it is because everybody wants their craft to be perfect, and it's just not. And the only person that's perfect is God, and I just needed that reminder. You know, I kind of do the do what I say, not what I do thing. So I need to get better on that. And I've just had like a lot of signs about that lately. Like I was talking with a customer today and they were saying, they were reading a book that said, it was called, what's it called? Find Your Unicorn, or Find Your Unicorn Moment, or something like that. Anyways, I did download it to Audible. And basically it's about taking time to be creative and that it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so I have stuffed this. It's not like super stuffy, but it's where I want it. And so I'm just gonna close it up with the hot glue. So I'm sure you can see that, but I'm just gonna come over here. I'm gonna close it up. Try not to burn my fingers because I don't have finger condoms. I mean, I do have them, but they're in a nice labeled box somewhere. What you gonna do? And then I think that, really, honestly, I think this part of closing up the pillow is the trickiest. Maybe there's a hack for that. I don't really know. I don't think so. Maybe. I can't imagine a hack for it, but you just gotta do it. Maybe the hack is to wear finger condoms so you don't burn your fingers. Or sew it. But I'm not sewing it. So, it's that. Anyways, so today I just kind of had a couple little signs from different people, so it was interesting. I had that one from the lady who was talking to me about reading that unicorn book. I'll find the title of it. And another one was a good friend, was saying that a lot has gone on in my life lately, and I needed to find my joy again. I think that's true. Look how, okay, so I'm going to push some stuffing down into this corner. If I was smart, I would have left this corner open, and, not if I was smart, I'm pretty smart, but if I was thinking, I would have left it over and put a little more stuffing in there, but it'll be okay. We'll shake it out. Look, our pillow is done. And how long did that take? I don't even know how long it took, but it didn't take very much time. So now we can add some little bonuses to it. Feature, everything is box labeled and somewhere. It is. I just, you know, if I knew where it all was, I would be organized. I mean, I'm organized, just unorganized, if that makes sense. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie a little bow on here. And like I said, everything is organized and unorganized, and I couldn't find my duck cloth. That's what I'm using. You could use cheesecloth. You know, even if you didn't have cheesecloth, but you had, like, this would be silly, but if you had like gauze in your emergency medical kit, I mean, gauze and cheesecloth are pretty much the same thing. One just may be more sterile than the other, but you know. Okay, I know I have a long piece in here. If not. Long piece. So, I'm just going to tie this around here. You can make it thicker. I'm just going to tie it. And I think I'm going to take one of these shorter pieces. And I'm going to tie that on here. So, here's what I'm doing. I'm tying this. I'm going to tie that. Right like that. And then I'm going to tie a little bow. And then I'm going to have several little strings that hang down. But I got my, excuse me, burped. Sorry. Ashley, wow, could I just really adore you. Oh, thanks, Ashley. You're so sweet. Yeah, I've been really down on myself lately. So my friend that was like, you need to find your joy. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, got time for that. But I've been down on myself, especially in these videos. Like, look at this. I got like this turkey neck and I need to lose weight and blah, 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 blah. And you know what? There's so much. Life is good. And there's so much other stuff going on in people's lives. Look, okay. I just need to get over it. So here I am getting over it. So you could just add this bow. Or there's this stuff called sisal. And it's really kind of a pain, but it looks really cute. Like if you just stick some sisal in there, it kind of really gives that primitive look. So I am going to just do a little drop of hot glue in there, and I'm going to randomly stick some sisal in. It's hot. We're gonna. It looks weird right now, but we will trim this down a little bit. I'm going to do some on the other side, too. So we're going to stick a little bit over here, and let me just find it off of the table. That'll be good. We're going to stick it in there, and we're going to make it look good. I have some more. I'll show you it. It comes in this. It's this stuff. Oops, here. It's this stuff, and it's called sisal. I don't know. Maybe the giraffe eat it. I don't know. But a little bit goes a really long ways, and I just made a huge mess. So I'm going to stick that in there, just like that. And then I'm going to put some greenery in there. Let me find my scissors. So it's kind of hairy right now. Can you see that? It's kind of hairy. We'll trim that off. I'm making a huge mess. I'm gonna trim this. I mean, you don't have to trim it. If you want it to be hairy, let it be hairy. But I'm gonna calm it down a little bit. And then I'm going to get my little greenery. I'm going to stick some greenery in there. And you can do whatever greenery you want. This is just some, Hobby Lobby used to sell this greenery that I really loved, and they quit selling it, but Walmart has something similar. It's not exactly it, but it looks pretty good. Okay. I'm gonna stick another piece in there. Go this way. Again, this is a, if you have the supplies, 20-minute project, and you have a lovely handmade gift for somebody. So that's on one side. We'll do the other side. Or for yourself. And then if you combined it with the that crushed glass resin piece that we did yesterday, you have you're starting to get a little vignette. And neither one of these projects take very long, and they look expensive. And if you try to buy them handmade, I mean, if I still had my store, I would make these and I would sell them for $25 or so. And people would be happy. So I have these little stars, the rustic stars that let's see. Could put a star right in the middle there, or we could hang a little heart. Yes, no worries, Miss Shara. I'm an entrepreneur, designer, crafter. I have my own arts and craft business. Well, I might have to look you up, Miss Ashley. Okay, I don't know. Heart or star? I'm not sure. Or, Miss Ashley, you should join us on a crafting cruise or come to our Christmas in July. I thought I had some jute. Jute. But I guess my jute took a hike. I really know that I did have it. I think on this one, I'm just gonna glue happened on the Cricut Joy. All right, I'll link it up. I was never a Cricut user. We started out with a silhouette and then we moved up to the big boys. I think I'm gonna do the heart, and I can't find my jute, so I'm just gonna put a dab of glue on it. I'm gonna stick it right there. And you know, the other thing you could do too is you could hang a little tag in here. That might be fun. I don't have my stamp set here because I really wasn't thinking about this. This is how lazy I'm gonna be. I'm just gonna use this big old fat paint pen, and I'm gonna paint this white. And for little projects like this, these fat paint pens, look how fast that was, and it wasn't even messy, are the bomb. And I think I might have bought it at Walmart, actually. It dries pretty fast. Then I'm going to add a little bit of distressing. I don't have my distressing inks. I know they are somewhere. They are packed up because we had them on the cruise. This is a little distressing brush. You can get these at Hobby Lobby. I usually use a different type of brush, but again, packed up and with the cruise stuff that I haven't unpacked. I just put a little bit of, actually I used paint since I didn't have my distressing inks, and then I'm gonna hold it at a 45-degree angle, and can you see that? I'm just going to put a little tiny bit on the edges. And let's make it a little bit distressed. Then, I don't have my stamps here, so I'm going to grab a Sharpie, and there we go. So, look, it's just a little bit distressed. Not a big deal. I'm going to grab a Sharpie. Normally I would stamp this with my stamps and ink, my alphabet stamps, but let's just write blessed and hope that our Sharpie doesn't bleed. Got a little paint on it. And you know, when you're writing on tags and stuff, it doesn't have to be perfect. I think the less perfect it is, the better, because then it looks more homemade. If it's perfect, looks like we bought it from the store. Anyways, I just wrote it on there. Blessed. Not a big deal. And, oh, I found my jute. I knew it was there. I'm going to put a little piece of jute in here, just so it looks like a tag. Tie a little knots. And I'm going to come around here, tie this off. Oh, let me do that again. Maybe. There we go. Cut that, and then I am gonna make it look like it's hanging from in there, but it's really gonna be on a piece of hot glue. I hot glued my hot glue gun to the table. That's funny. Yeah, so we're gonna hot glue that in there, and there we go. I'm gonna try to get it up above there. So, and I'm just gonna let that hang with the heart. But you could, if you wanted it to be in a specific place, like, you know, you could make it sit there, you know, just by putting a dab of hot glue in it. But that's it. Super fast. And you have a great little piece of decor, a great little hostess gift. If your host likes primitive, you can take your distressing and, you know, you can kind of dirty it up a little bit. I'll show you here on the back because I don't want the front to be dirty. But you can get some. And just real lightly go around and kind of dirty it up. And just kind of like that. I don't know, you can see that a little bit. But it just adds a little bit of more primitive to it. And I would do that on the bow too. But that's what it looks like. A little 12 by 18 pillow that you can whip up in 15 minutes. Anyways, it's Saturday. I hope you guys are doing something fun. I'm going to think of something for tomorrow too. But like I said, we did these on the cruise. So if you're on the cruise, and there were a few people that didn't craft because they were just cruising, and that's fine. But here's your tutorial on that, and I will post it to our YouTube page. So make sure you go over to our YouTube page and you like it. And you can always go to our website and find out what we're doing, because we are either at Penner's Conference, we are either doing a Christmas in July, we do those in Tennessee, we do them in Texas, we do a fall retreat in Tennessee, we do a spring retreat in St. George, Utah, and then those crafting cruises, which are amazing. So much fun. Thanks, teacher. You have a great one too. All right, I'm going to talk to you soon. I hope you have a great day.